start off with Mauricio Pochettino mutually parting ways with Chelsea. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. It's apparently a mutual parting of ways. Whatever that means. This is a very mind-boggling situation going around with Chelsea and Mauricio Pochettino. This morning, as I woke up to some news about Toni Kroos retiring from international football, and I thought, wow. I mean, from football, I keep saying international football, from football in general, and I was just like, wow, what a shocker, but didn't expect for me to get out-shocked. Chelsea have had a really bad season. Overall, 6th place is not good enough for the amount of talent or amount of money spent on this team, despite being young and inexperienced. This is a team that must do better than just scrapping into Conference League on the final day, potentially Europa League, depending on what happens with Manchester United's FA Cup final. But this is a team that's been struggling a lot throughout the season. You know, it seems like every time they get one up, they go back down. One time they go up, they go back down. And there was no sort of consistency, and there was a lot of questions being asked of the manager throughout the seasons. A lot of low moments, a lot of difficult moments for the manager. But it seemed like as finally he was able to get over that hill and started to get this team to start going on a run, which they are, besides that Arsenal game, they're unbeaten in their last 15 games. A very good run compared to, you know, what they've been doing last season and up to this point in this season. They've been playing a lot better, a lot more consistent, taking care of the teams that they should take care of. You know, getting out of 11th place hole, climbing all the way up to 6th in very good fashion. They did have that one embarrassment against Arsenal, but every game outside of that has been very, very good, very, very solid for Chelsea. But then this morning it's announced through a club statement that after just one season in charge, it's mutual consent. Again, I keep saying mutual consent because whatever that means. He departed following talks within the past 48 hours with one of the co-owners, Begdad Egbali, and the sporting directors, Paul Winstanley and Lauren Stewart. Pochettino also publicly talked about how he had dinner with co-owner Todd Bowley on Friday. And, you know, and there was a lot of sources that said Pochettino despite him having a 1 year remaining on his contract, that the decision was was easy to mutually agree. There was no real hardship between the two. Look, I think this shows kind of. I was very, very hard on Mauricio Pochettino this season. I think there was moments where I really wanted him gone. When you look at the Wolves game, or especially during the EFL Cup final, the way we took our foot off the gas in extra time going up against some really young and inexperienced Liverpool players. There was a lot of rough moments for Pochettino this season, but I did give him the credit for he deserves for climbing this team back up to 6 and taking this, you know, getting this team some sort of European football, potentially Europa League football. And yes, entering the season had a lot more expectations than that. But it is a young team, so I was starting to feel a little bit more sympathy towards him. And there was times where I've been very, very comfortable and backed the team for making the decision to fire him. This is considering a mutual parting ways. I don't know what that means. You know, I don't know if that's really. I think it's a firing, but you know, this kind of shows the lack of competence from the Chelsea ownership group, who have made a tremendous amount of mistakes in a short manner. Being the owner of Chelsea Football Club, the amount of mistakes that this team has made regarding transfers, not just the transfers of some players, but the amount of money that they've spent on players. When you look at the Enzo Fernandez's, the Caicedos, and then bringing in a Lafia, a third midfielder that plays in sort of similar role to Enzo and Caicedo. You know, overpopulating the squad with so many players that they don't even have enough to fit in a locker room. Spending 100+ million on Mikhailo Mudryk, another guy that's raw, another guy that is so inexperienced, that needs to develop. Just so many just questionable mistakes coming. Even the signing of Cole Palmer, which now looks like amazing, but was one of their, wasn't their first option entering. They tried out guys like Eze, who refused to come after Chelsea agreed with Crystal Palace on his release clause. And then Cole Palmer, he becomes available, and they overspent for him based on that timing. Now obviously it looks like a good deal, it looks like a bargain, but at that point we were looking at a 40 million for Cole Palmer, and where are you gonna play him? We were looking at it like, was that really that good? We really were thinking this is gonna be a bad signing. We were all preparing for a potential another horrible decision made by Chelsea, but that quickly turned to be a great signing for them, and a bargain signing. Now that you look at it, 40 million for a guy of his production in this market is a very, very good deal. But it's just a lot of mistakes and a lot of bad decisions made by Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez is getting ready to play his second full season on Chelsea, and he'll be under his 5th manager that he's played, and he just came in a year and a half ago. It's unbelievable the turmoil that's been in this club ever since the geopolitical activities between Russia and Ukraine and all that. Ever since that happened, the amount of turmoil, the amount of destruction this club has gone through because of attacks that really had nothing to do with them, or war that has nothing to do with them, is quite remarkable. And it's been a knockout effect. And ever since they brought in this new ownership to replace Roman Abramovich, I think it's just been horrible. So much money spent, no trophies to show for it, and their biggest accomplishment is potentially making Europa League or Europa Conference League football. That's all this ownership group has to show for it. Next year they get to compete in a prestigious Club World Cup, in an elevated Club World Cup, based on the success of the previous ownership. This ownership is going to benefit off that. So I'm just very, very frustrated. Now it's kind of, it's a restart again for this young, youthful Chelsea team. It's a new start. It's basically, we have to restart the book of the development, because it seemed like Pochettino was taking this team somewhere. Now you're bringing in a new manager, and it's like, oh yeah, it's time to start from square one. It's time to start from square one. It's time for it's just a complete restart. And it's just very, very disappointing, very frustrated for a lot of Chelsea fans that's already gone through this, that's already gone through so many struggles the past couple of years. It just seems like we're going to have to do that again next year. Now, Chelsea have came out talking to reporters saying, the board and all that, they've stated they want a guy that plays attacking, open-ended, possession-based football, all that nonsense. Honestly, Chelsea Football Club has always been a club. I'm really getting frustrated with this ownership, because Chelsea Football Club has never been a club to try to appeal to some sort of style or all that. Roman Abramovich, when he was the owner, he never cared about attacking football or this or that. He just wanted to bring in the best manager that gave you the best chance to win trophies. And at the end of the day, that's all us Chelsea fans want to care about. So all this, we want a possession based, all that. It's all I don't care. It don't matter. Chelsea need to bring in a manager that can take this team as far as it can immediately. None of this possession. I don't care how the game looks. If the results are coming, let the results come. You know, when Jose Mourinho and Antoine Conte was in Chelsea playing less than pleasant football, did we care? No. As long as the results were there. When Thomas Tuchel lifted the Champions League, did we care that we played a low block? When Jose Mourinho won 3-time Premier League in a row, when he won 3 Premier Leagues for Chelsea, not 3 Premier Leagues in a row, but when he won 3 Premier Leagues for Chelsea, did we care about the style of play? When Antoine Conte came in and won a Premier League for Chelsea a year after we didn't even qualify for Europe and had our worst season under Roman Abramovich, did we care about the style of football we played? No. So, you know, the Chelsea board also, they need to understand where the true what truly matters. And that's not no style of football. That's not what Chelsea has ever been. Chelsea's a team of getting results and winning trophies, not based on attacking football or this or that. So we're really, really frustrated with the news, but it is what it is. And even more frustrated with the statements that came out regarding, oh, we want a manager that plays attacking football and all that. No, that's not what Chelsea's DNA is. Chelsea's DNA is winning, no matter what kind of football that they play.